We have already configured the necessary fields to begin building our asset tree. Now, within the Assets module, we find 3 different views: one that displays all assets, whether they are equipment or facilities, another that shows only equipment, and a third one dedicated exclusively to facilities. To illustrate this process, we will take the implementation of a hotel in Cancun as an example. However, these same actions are applicable to various industries, such as production plants or environments where maintenance is carried out. We will start creating our assets directly by clicking on the Create button. A form with the necessary information to capture will be displayed. First, we must select our organization since, as we saw previously, all assets will be linked to it. Next, we'll select an asset type. To begin constructing the asset tree, we'll first create the facilities type. You can also add custom fields for facilities as you did before for equipments, by going to General Settings Assets section and selecting the custom fields for facilities. Once this information is saved, we can expand by adding more facilities like a pool area, restaurant, or laundry room. Returning to the Assets module and checking the All Assets view, we find them registered, including in the Facilities section view. Notably, the Equipment section remains empty as these assets are categorized under Facilities. To streamline the creation of our tree, we can select the facility to which we want to add child equipment or child facilities and click on Create Asset. As we can see, the location or the parent equipment or parent facility with which it is related is automatically assigned. Within this tree, we can detail even more the sections of the hotel. For example, we will add a lobby that is also of the facility type, a first floor also of the facility type, and a second floor also of the facility type. Once saved, these elements are reflected in the tree structure, making it easier to visualize and manage assets. If we want to continue under this logic, we can again select a facility, click on Create Asset, and now add a couple of rooms to the first floor. We will add room 101, 102, and 103. In case the location needs to be modified, it can also be done directly by clicking on Select. This tab will also show me all the locations I have previously registered in a tree structure, and I can change it simply by selecting the new location. As an example, we will select the second floor and add rooms 201, 202, and 203. We return to our view of all assets, and we can see how our tree looks. We see that we have a hotel with different floors and different rooms on each floor. Now let's register an equipment asset following the same process. We select the location and proceed to create the asset. In this instance, we'll be creating an elevator. We'll assign a code. Note that we can also add a user, which is beneficial if a specific provider handles maintenance tasks for this elevator. Furthermore, we'll ensure to fill in all the custom fields we've previously added, including model and brand. Notably, we'll leave the location field empty as we're manually generating it. With a click on Save, our first manual entry is complete. Additionally, the platform supports importing assets massively. In addition to manually creating our assets, I will also be able to create them automatically. This will be done through an import process. To initiate this import, we have to select our actions in the top right corner and choose Import. To import our assets in bulk, we will need a CSV file. For example, here I have a file that I previously generated to capture this information. Within this file, I have the fields I need. As you can see in the system, I have the code, the equipment name, and the additional fields we just created like model and brand. I'm including the organization it belongs, as well as its location. Additionally, I specify the category. This CSV file needs to include columns with the information we require in our system. It's important to note that these fields are completely customizable using the 20 available custom fields in the Asset Settings section. Now, let's proceed to import multiple assets in bulk. To do this, we need to map the columns in my Excel with the columns in the platform. For example, here I can see that in my Excel file, I have the code value that corresponds to the code column. I have the equipment name that corresponds to the asset name in our platform, and similarly for the model and brand sections, which were the additional custom fields we previously create. In our platform, the hotel is actually the organization name, along with the location and category, as these are the fields I had registered in the system. Here, once we click Next, we've established this mapping. As you can see, the asset name and organization were mandatory. Now we click Finish once we complete this step. The system confirms that they were imported successfully, and we can return to the Assets section. Here, we can see that all these assets have been added to our asset list. Furthermore, since they are equipment-type assets, I can view them under the Equipment section and see everything that has been generated. They are also directly linked to the organization name. It's crucial that the organization name in our file matches the organizations we've previously created. Also, it's important to note that if the organization doesn't exist, the platform will automatically create one with the name in this column and group the assets under this organization. In our next video, I'll begin by briefly explaining how our tables are utilized and highlighting all the functionalities and advantages of our platform.